Ooh. I felt the ooh coming in your spirit.
That's hard.
What's good people? I'm OBO, and in case you didn't know, I'm the G in LGBTQ, and you're watching It's Just Not Adding Up. So get in here and act like you got some sense. We're about to create some space. So you know how in the community we always talk about the whole, like, we model our relations off of traditional models, and that's what's getting in our way?
Yeah, I have an interesting perspective about that.
I would love to. I would love to hear.
So I always say, like, you know, what you just said, we try to do these heteronormative relationships and model ourselves after what we saw growing up. And it don't work for us because we're not heterosexual, right? But the ain't working for them either. They are trying to mold themselves on these gender roles. Men and women are, I have a lot of straight friends.
Yeah.
That I've been friends with for 30 years. They married. We talk about this relationship all the time. They are trying to fit into a role of what a husband and a man is supposed to be. And the women are trying to be less aggressive and be more submissive. But they ain't built that way. A lot of black women aren't built to be submissive because they've been, culturally, they ran the household. Mm-hmm. Right? During enslavement days, the woman ran the household. The man was away from the household working. And so the woman, black women especially, we're not built to be submissive. So why are we trying to fight ourselves to fit in these roles that ain't working? Why don't you just be yourself? You be yourself. Maybe you need a submissive man. There are plenty straight straight men. Believe me. Yeah. Most of them are. But if they can throw that thing around and act macho on them, that means they're not submissive anymore. But there are plenty of women that are running the household. Most of them do, but they are trying to fit in these heteronormative roles. You got to take the trash out. Why can't you take the trash out?
No, I get it. I guess I'm wondering what is in the way of... Yeah, matter of fact, I guess how are we defining healthy relationships? Because that word kind of thrown around, like, I want to be in a healthy relationship. And like, we're kind of talk about monogamy as healthy or like non-monogamy as healthy or whatever it looks like. But like, how are we defining healthy? And for me, I think the main part of my relationship, I want to feel safe.
Yes.
And if I feel safe with you, and I think safety, like, I want to feel emotionally safe, physically safe, mentally safe. I want to feel safe. Yes. And I don't know that you find safety in everybody you're around. You know what I mean?
You don't. And that's trust. Most people, when they hear trust, is will you cheat on me? No, but can I trust you to be vulnerable, to tell you that a way in which you behaved yesterday really hurt me and made me feel this way and it triggered this in me. Are you going to hold that against me now? Or can I trust you? Is that a safe place?
And I think that's such a necessary additive because even for myself, like, I'm not a cheater. That's just not how I'm wired. Yeah. But because I'm not a cheater, I thought that I was just an amazing person. Like, I'm not cheating. So
bitch, but you flawed in so many other ways.
Right.
Just because you can get
in your mind, it's like, you don't cheat.
I'm the best.
Like, I'm the best boyfriend in the world because I'm not going to cheat on you. That doesn't mean I'm showing up for you. That doesn't mean that all these other things are happening.
But it doesn't matter. That doesn't even mean that I see you.
It doesn't.
You know, but I ain't cheating.
But I ain't. It's yours. I ain't making you look great. You know, I think even in all these conversations, we talk about how a lot of, for me, I was saying this earlier, a lot of the ways in which we love others have a lot to do with ourselves. Yeah. I think that's kind of...
it has everything to do with ourselves if I had to guess.
And that's problematic in my opinion in a lot of ways. Because I think, honestly, do you love this person enough to acknowledge that they aren't the person for you? Yeah. Like, or that you're in their way. And a lot of us don't. Even for myself, I think about how, like, yes, my love feels selfless, but I want you to choose what you want out of life, but I'm praying that the person that you choose is me. Yeah. And I want wherever you evolve to, for me to still be a part of the evolution. Yeah. Right? And so at the end of the day, I'm supporting your evolution.
But what happens if it's not?
What happens if it's not?
Then what? What happens to you?
For me, I don't think that love is a choice per se. Maybe it is, but maybe you decide.
Well, the relationship is.
I think low-key both are. Okay, hear me clearly, guys. Real clearly. Yeah. Real clear. Don't break this apart, guys. Keep this in context. I think even embracing your sexuality is a choice. Yeah. I didn't choose to be oriented to like men, but I did choose to embrace the fact that I'm oriented to like men because I could have pretended the rest of my life.
Of course. That ain't mean it's going anywhere.
Right, but I think it's a choice. Likewise to relationships, I think in your comments about in love, I think we choose to say, I may not be getting as satisfied in this season, whatever, but I'm still going to choose to keep trekking with this person. Yeah.
You're allowing yourself to feel the love, I guess. Because you can definitely keep a distance from someone so you don't even allow yourself to feel those type of feelings. So I think that's what I'm hearing from you. Is like
love is brave, I think.
You have to make a choice. Like, I won't allow myself to fall into this. Yeah, that's definitely a choice.
Which is courageous in my opinion.
It is.
And I think a lot of people don't have the courage to be really in relationships.
What's so courageous about it?
Because I think...
Why does it take so much courage? Why is it so scary?
To be in a relationship? Because heartbreak is not fun.
I mean, it's just a heart. It's not going to break. Your ego may break, but your heart ain't going nowhere.
Your ego may break. Your self-esteem may break. Your will may break. A lot of things may break in the midst of dating somebody because we put a lot of things into our relationships. We dive in.
Of course, hurt is natural, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to experience hurt.
For sure.
You want to experience hurt in any type of relationship, but to be so afraid to be in relation with another person because that person may leave you and now I am broken.
Yeah.
To me says that you're already broken, for one. It shouldn't take you out like that. So I feel like there's some evaluation to do there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're going to hurt, but you will get over it. Just like you go to the job and they might fire your ass, you get over it. You go into a friendship, that might not last, but you will get over it. So we live our lives like in fear all the time, especially when it comes to these intimate relationships.
For sure.
And we can't even experience the beauty that is love.
Because you have interpersonal goals. Like with career, that goal is still outside of self. But with relationships, I think we have like personal goals. Like, I want this to feed a family. I want this to feed like all these things that feel core to who you are. So it feels like a job, fine. I want to be a CEO. I didn't get it. Sucks, but that's outside of self. But I wanted
not outside of self. It's all a part of self.
I mean, a part of self, but I feel like with relationships, it's like I wanted to become a father through you. I wanted to share that with you, and now it's not an option anymore. I have to reconcile that. I want you pick
somebody else.
People not just growing on trees, Jim.
Not all relationships are meant to last forever. Actually, most relationships are not meant to last forever. So why not go into it for what you're supposed to get when, like I said, if you go back to knowing the purpose of relationships is to learn yourself. It won't devastate you like that. You'll be, even through the hurt, you will be grateful that you have learned so much.
I'm not getting
and the more hurt, the more hopefully you learn about yourself. I'm not getting in a
relationship to end it. It's not happening. I'm getting that joint to ride that thing to the wheels are falling down 20.
As you should, but don't hold on to it when you have realized it's the end.
Well,
don't feel like just because a relationship has ended doesn't mean it was a failure. It can have been a successful 3 years we had together. I have, made so many strides within myself through this relationship between us. Like, that's a successful relationship that lasted 3-4 good long years.
So do you think we stay longer than we should, or we leave prematurely more?
Both. Well, more.
Ooh. I felt it would come on in your spirit.
That's hard. I feel like people probably stay longer than they should. I think it's harder to leave than it is to stay sometimes, because we get so comfortable, and a lot of times we just think this is normal because this is how we felt growing up. We receive love the way we received it in our developmental years, and sometimes that's not always the best way. So we see dysfunction as a comfortable place. And so this is how I grew up in a household where my parents argued all the time. I didn't think they were happy. I just thought that was normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some people just think I hope my friends don't see this, but a lot of friends who are married and married for years, they are so unhappy.
Yeah.
And maybe that's me placing judgment on them. And it is. All I'm doing comparing my life to them or their conversation. But to me, it's so sad because they just think this is marriage and how it's supposed to be. I'm like, but you can have all the things in life. But they're so unhappy. This is just normal, raising a family with kids, and this is how it's supposed to be. So I stay in the situation because it's supposed to be. And I think that happens a lot.
I think I'm probably on the opposite end. I think people leave prematurely.
I definitely think it's close.
Because I think especially as men, I think men are conditioned to get what you want. And when you're not getting what you want, you're out of here, because the idea of not getting what you want feels foreign. I think even how we're bred in this country as a man, the privilege of being a man, you kind of feel like you can have everything. I think that balance that comes from women, because women are kind of taught that you're not really going to get everything you want, baby. You have to bend to a man, you have to bend to a job, you don't get paid less. So I think a lot of men are like, he didn't do something that I liked, I'm out of here.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, that's a hard one, because people do leave. They leave when there's a problem in their relationship, and they think it's the end of the relationship, but they're really meant to work the problem out, and they will be so much stronger after that. That should happen. It does happen all the time. But that's a hard one. That's hard to answer.
Okay, so there's somebody watching this, right, who is trying to just navigate building a relationship, right? They're not committed yet. They met the person last week, a month ago, whatever. They're in the talking stages of it. They want to know, how do I navigate? How do I go about preserving self or not preserving self in the midst of navigating dating with this person? What does that look like? What should I do? How should I think?
Go with the flow. And I know that sounds really simple, but if you really dig into what it means to go with the flow, if you really go with the flow of things, just going to keep moving. It's just being in the moment. But as soon as you try to think too much about it and go against the flow, like just lean into it, without fear. What is the worst that can happen? They don't like you no more. Big fucking deal. Big fucking deal. It's 3 weeks, 3 months, 2 months, 4 months, 5 months, a year, 2 years out of your whole long life. Like, big fucking deal. Like, I feel like you need to stop taking this so fucking seriously. Like, just enjoy these moments. Go with the flow. And I always tell people, if you're really looking for, like, throw a romantic relationship out the window. If you're looking for meaningful relationships in your life, I believe in the power of attraction. I don't know if you do. Remain so curious about yourself. Want to know so much about yourself. Want to know about why you behave the way. Why do I get upset? Why does something trigger me when that happens? Damn, let me figure that shit out. Yeah. And guess what's going to happen? God, the universe, whatever you believe, are going to bring the people into your life to teach you about yourself. You know what? If you remain so curious, you're going to get these, because relationships are meant to teach you about yourself. Remain so curious, and the universe will bring the person to teach you about that. And the more curious you are, the closer to me, I think you get to your partner, because your partner is the main one that's going to teach you about yourself. So if your passion is to be so curious about yourself, you're going to find your man. You're going to find your soulmate. That's a soulmate. You're going to find a soulmate. Be curious about yourself. Stop worrying about them. Worry about your own self. Fix your own self, like they say. And that's to me, that's self-love. Like, focus on yourself. And through the power of attraction, the universe is going to say, you want to know about yourself? Here you go.
I'm going to say, listen to G. And I will see you guys next week. Keep creating space. Peace.